Clips. Alrighty YouTube, another one of Kip's Clips. So I recently subscribed to BAE Systems to see what latest developments and blowing shit up they're coming out with, and the great way that they're coming up with spending people's money on weapons of war. Just before I go into it, because this is actually talking about an upgrade to a shipyard which is literally right next door to myself, so this is actually very news that's very close to home for me. But just before I go into it, there is one quick thing I need to do. Let's see if that works. I obviously haven't edited it yet, so let's see if it works. And only for shits and giggles, because I seen Ride Dawson doing it, so I wanted to try it myself. Back to the BAE Systems. Now I do actually, and back with my glasses, I do want to actually talk about this because this crap is happening on my doorstep, and when I say my doorstep, I literally mean my doorstep. And it's more weapons of war. It's getting built, but what I wanted to, more importantly, what this video is going to be about, and I'll touch on that. Hopefully, I'll do a video about that BAE Systems on my doorstep. If you want, leave comments and urge me to do it, and I'll do it. Because I don't know if it's just me being annoyed because it's right on my doorstep, but they're meant to be upgrading shipyards. But I want to talk about the crap that's going on down in England right now. In my perception, the absolutely despicable, can't even speak right, the absolutely despicable, deliberate mismanagement of flood fences, seawalls, etc., so on and so forth. All the infrastructure. Brunel is the guy, I thank God somebody reminded me, Brunel is the guy that built the railways. Engineerly speaking, he's a god. And he built a railway along the coast. I would argue primarily for the view. Now, if you build a railway near the coast, I'm not an engineer. I don't even think I could. A sand castle over 3 stories high, I'm bad. But I'm not an engineer. But what I can tell you is if you build a railway and it's got a supporting wall, and that wall's a seawall, and that seawall takes a battering from, I don't know, what does it take a battering from? The sea, because it's a seawall. If it's not maintained, if it's not right, you know where I'm getting at. Any end, I mean, like, I don't even want to go down the 9/11 truther engineers for 9/11 truth kind of thing, but engineers will know this. That isn't due to go and speak to the locals down in the areas, down that neck of the wood, and they will tell you that what I've heard on multiple occasions, the storms haven't been that bad, and they haven't been overpowering, they haven't been overwhelming and such. It's been the bombardment of like constant storm after storm, storm after storm after storm. It's like we stay in the UK, and people are trying to tell me that bad weather is now news and different. But as I said, the infrastructure is, it's the lack of investment in infrastructure that's to blame. And I need to show you what's happening now, and this makes... No, I'm not going to get in. I'm going to just state it as it is. I'm not going to even blow a gasket over this, but this really pisses me off, man. Because it's all well and good sitting back and going, well, aye, look at these cunts, it's all planned and they're doing this. But see, when you actually believe that, I mean, I'm one of the, I have got courage in my convictions, I believe what I say. If I don't say things I don't believe, I really I will correct myself 1,000,001 times. I'm probably wrong more than I am right, but I do believe what I'm saying. Or as I like to say, it's my version of the truth at the time. Everybody's got their own version, but this makes me sick because in my perception, I believe this is a deliberate. Now, I've not heard of anybody's life getting taken, right? But what I do know is it's destroying lives. And these poor folks, man, are getting caught up in the bigger global agenda, and that's why I cannot accept globalisation. Communism, right? When I grew up, here, by the way, this might be profound. When I grew up, communism, I asked my dad, primarily my dad, my mum, and other people what was communism. Now I got it explained to me, like as an innocent kid, like a lot of people, when you get communism explained to you, you're like, well, that sounds great. Why doesn't it work? I mean, well, that sounds absolutely amazing. And stick with the innocence of kids in the sense that you're given a job and everybody's taken care of, and the standard of living is so high that everybody's happy. Now it's the corruption of man. It's the greediness of the fucking individual. It's the bad apple. It's the cocks out there that spoil it. So you need to put up checks, balances, and this is where certain systems have evolved. Now ultimately they've been diluted down, renamed, rebranded. Democracy, it's a democratic republic. All these names, all these systems, all these brandings. It's the Age of Enlightenment, it's the Counter-Reformation, it's all these periods, brandings, stuff and whatnot that goes on. Jesus, fuck, lost my train of thought. But anyway, it's disgusting what's happening. These people are deliberately perpetuating people's misery for a greater plan of what they want the world, society to be, and it's centralisation with power where they corrupt people. That's my point. Man is corrupt. Now there's a lot, like I'm a proponent of the vast majority is of good, but the overwhelming majority of people are inherently good. But I'm also a proponent of people are easily bought, led, and especially when you've got the brainwashing manipulation going on. People don't believe that, but it's so fucking true. Everybody's manipulated. This is what's making me sick, right? Because real people are getting really fucking pissed off, and this is all part of it. And then you get...
They're not helping us. All they need to do is go slow. We understand that you've got to get milk out, you've got to get animals out and all that. But what we need is just, if they could just go a bit steady, as soon as the bow wave goes by, it's straight in.
You seem really upset. This is just so hard on you, isn't it?
You can imagine what we're going through at the moment, yeah. Stress levels are incredibly high. It's now worrying now.
Now my point is, man, right, a lot of people go, oh, he's an actor, he's doing this, he's doing that. Like, my perception, my first initial reaction is that seems like a genuine guy fucking pissed off at what's going on. Now, the small glances I've had, and this is the telling thing, I was watching live footage, I think it was ITN, it will be then, the news, and they were live at a farm, right, and it was a bunch of old, Cornish guys, man. I mean, they looked like caricatures. It was great, man. They looked brilliant. But right, so they're all like old guys, man. And you can try and I wish I could find the clip, but they weren't acting. I heard a woman shouting that they were pumping the water in, not out. Right now, and that's her wording. That was like on the and. because it was live, the camera just got panned away and she just got left to walk off. But she was talking about them pumping. They were meant to be pumping the water out, but they were actually pumping the water in, right? And I don't know whether that was some sort of a technical issue, fault or something, because technically I don't know how you pump water out of somewhere. So if that makes sense. But I also heard the farmers. This was a very weird thing, and I'm not but I can only say what I've seen. The farmers, one of the farmers says the pumps were going, and he was speaking in that funny voice, that accent that I can't do. And he said that he stood on, like he went, I touched on the pipe and there was nothing going through it, as if the pumps were there and it was pumping air. Now, I'm very much in the camp, and I'm nailing my flag to this, man, because I see this as part of it. I see it's part of it. There's so much more stuff coming out. This is deliberate. Look at the guy that's been set up. Look at Wellington Bootface, melted Wellington Bootface. BO SELECTA. Americans, anybody that's not heard of BO SELECTA, put in BO SELECTA and go and look at that's what that Lord, Jesus, is it Lord Smith? Lord Chris Smith. Now, Lord Chris Smith, he's been a political pawn for a long time. Let's look at his education. And here's me doing it offhand because I've actually looked into it, dude. Edinburgh, Cambridge, Harvard. Right, that's his education. Political career, up at the higher echelons, she's in a lot of powerful positions. Part of the Blair government. Speaks volumes for me. That Blair guy was the one that cemented the death of proper opposition in this country. Neil Kinnock, for all his faults and all his, I believe Neil Kinnock was a proper opposition. I think Tony Blair, New Labour, was the instalment of the complete one party, three party illusion. That's what I believe. That's what I can tell from my little time in this planet. But hey, I seen the new RoboCop come out the other day, or heard the new RoboCop getting talked about the other day, and I heard that the first RoboCop was out 25 years ago. I can remember that film coming out and loving it, playing computer games, RoboCop. That made me feel old. And Jesus, man, I'm only in my 30s, man. But anyway, this is making me sick. Real people's lives are getting ruined off the back of all this scumbags, man. Austerity bull crap, man. When if we could all just out the illusion. Hey, you want you want to be sovereign country, right? And I'm not even going to go to my place in the sky. I'm going to go to where I think where I think a lot of people could meet. Does that make sense? I don't want to go to my utopia, man. My utopia is too... my utopia would be far too out there for far too many people. So, I'm always a man willing to compromise, and a lot of people out there ain't. It has to be the Christian way, it has to be the Muslim way, it has to be that way, it has to be the atheist way. No cunt can just fucking get along to get along. I don't know how to simplify it, man. Like, well, why don't you just get fascinated with other beliefs and all that and just go, well, cool, man. This is what I believe. It's what you believe. Brilliant. Let's get on. Instead of, I don't know, trying to rip people to shreds for having different fucking belief systems, man. It's sad. It's really sad, man. People can't see through how they're enslaved through institutions. Institutions. You know what institutions are? It's bricks and mortar and bits of paper. And people perpetuating their bullshit and the ingrained paedophilia and all these fucking... Every high-ranking institution, Harvard, Edinburgh, Cambridge, for instance, all riddled with fucking kiddie fiddling, man. Ain't no fucking surprise. People can't understand. I'm going to run out of time because I'm waffling a big one. But this makes me sick, man. UK's floods, what a load of crap. It's deliberately done for a political agenda. That Lord Smith's going to stand up there, take a bullet, right? He'll end up dead or fucking sad, only in the old and lonely and depressed. Check out his history. He's been used as a political pawn before. He was the first openly gay MP. And go and check his speech out. It is actually good speech, but it was a political political moment in time. It was, and so in my eyes, he's been used as a political pawn because politics ain't real life. It's a fucking farce. Alrighty, YouTube, thumbs it up, share it. Right.
Clips, clip.